There is a powerful video of Julius Malema circulating on social media. I want us to watch this particular video. I will be back.
Our fellow African brothers and sisters from our continent, the richest continent in the world and the most beautiful and most diverse continent in the world. We are here today to salute the fighting spirit of revolutionaries who resisted colonialism and subjugation of the black majority. We therefore are here to salute all liberation heroes and heroines, the kings and the queens who resisted colonial invasion, and the freedom fighters who refused to bow to the colonial masters. We are here to salute Haile Selassie, Julius Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Kenneth Kaunda, Patrice Lumumba, Amilcar Cabral, Thomas Sankara, Nelson Mandela, Steve Biko, and all those who made us proud by resisting colonialism and imperialism. Africa Day is a celebration and recognition of Pan-Africanism. This day is a day where we celebrate ourselves. This day is a day where we tell the whole world and those who care to listen that we are Africans and we are proud. We are not ashamed of being Africans. We are not ashamed of being black. We kill one another today because we don't know who we are. We call people Zimbabweans. We call people Malawians. We call people who come from outside Makwerekwere, whereas we are Makwerekwere ourselves because we come from where those people come from. None of us come from here. We came from the north and found the Khoi and the San here in Southern Africa, and we settled here. The Khoi and the San welcomed us here. So we should welcome others as well, the same way we were welcomed here. Know your history. You will appreciate our fellow brothers and sisters from Africa. Let us celebrate Pan-Africanists like Julius Nyerere. Those are the people we should know their history. Those are the people who welcomed the ANC and the PAC in exile in Tanzania, made it possible for them to be trained and come back to fight against the nonsensical, murderous apartheid regime. Today, when we see people from Tanzania, we see enemies. We see people who threaten us because we don't know the history of Africa. That it was people like Julius Nyerere who hosted us, who received us when it was difficult in South Africa during the times of apartheid. You will never appreciate Tanzania. You will never know the role that Tanzania played in our struggle. You will never know the role Julius Nyerere played in the revolution, because those who write our history, they distort it to suit the white man and project all our heroes as monsters who never did anything for Africa. We must celebrate African leaders in a manner that is befitting of celebrating such leaders. We must know who's Kwame Nkrumah. What did Kwame Nkrumah do for the continent of Africa? The father of independent Ghana, who said it is never enough to liberate Ghana alone, for as long as other African countries are still oppressed, Ghana is not free. We are free today because of the visionary leadership of Kwame Nkrumah. We need to know these people and know what role they've played. Who is Kenneth Kaunda? can you tell us the role that independent Zambia played in the liberation of Southern Africa and South Africa in particular? Who is Thomas Sankara? What did Thomas Sankara do for the people of his country and the whole of African continent? Burkina Faso knew real leadership with Thomas Sankara, the man who initiated progressive programs in Burkina Faso, the man who replaced the Mercedes-Benz we are driving with Reynolds, who said we cannot drive big cars when our people are suffering. We must downgrade the cars and drive in cars that will not create an impression that we are in it for ourselves. We must make sure that we have leaders who look up to Thomas Sankara as one of their own. Not these leaders who are imposed on us, who are imposed by white media on us. We need leaders that have contributed to make us who we are. Amilcar Cabral always teaches us to always respect and tell the truth. Amilcar Cabral was one of the great intellectuals and revolutionary leaders produced by our continent. We must be able to celebrate Muammar Gaddafi, who wanted to unite the whole of Africa and create one currency which will not be reliant on the US dollar. The brother leader who gave the people of Libya land, who gave the people of Libya houses, livestock, seeds, and equipment to work the land. The man who gave the people of Libya free electricity, free education. The man who created a state bank in Libya. The man who gave women $5,000 every time they gave birth as a sign of appreciation. A tried and tested leader of Africa. Eswatini. What a beautiful name. This monarch of Swaziland, he has changed a colonial name, Swaziland, to Eswatini. South Africa, we still don't have a name till today. Because South Africa is not a name, it's a direction. South of Africa, it's not a name. We need a name for this beautiful country. This country shall be declared Azania because it is Azania. So we don't want to be called South Africa to please the colonizers. We are not South Africa. We are Azania. That's who we are. Because Africa Day means that we must assume the African identity. And in assuming African identity, we must start naming things by their rightful names. Start with your children. You cannot call your children with white people's names. You must first liberate yourself, liberate your mind from white oppression, from white slavery. The liberation of individual mind is important. For as long as your mind is in the hands of the white oppressors, you will never see the need to be a proud African who takes no nonsense from no one, particularly from white minorities. Africa means self-love. African means you must love yourself, and you cannot love yourself through identifying yourself with colonizers. And what colonizers want you to do. Today, when we say to our people, we need our land, You are the first one to say Malema is going to put us into poverty. Why? You heard a white man saying that. You don't believe in that. You believe in everything that white man says. Today, white people say Cyril Ramaphosa is the best president. You all believe that. Why? Because white men love Cyril Ramaphosa. You love everything else that white man loves. Because you have made yourself in the image of your colonizers. Liberate yourself. Let us have a dignified African arrangement where we speak to each other with respect and dignity.
Wow, wow, wow. That was a powerful speech. Now, there's one thing that scares me a lot concerning our generation. It seems this new generation, is more enlightened when it comes to Africans' affair or African politics. But one thing that scares me off is what legacy are we going to leave behind? What legacy are we going to leave behind? Are we going to be the generation that talked a lot about African liberation, but couldn't take any action to make sure it's being implemented in the minds of the people? Or are we going to be a generation that is going to leave a legacy of being the cause or being the main driving force for change of liberation? Because I've seen a lot of speeches. I've seen a lot of people making good announcements of how Africa should liberate ourselves. But I haven't seen enough effort of making that happen. That is also another angle which scares me, because some years back, we used to have strong leaders who were very strong and wanted the well-being of Africans, but we were having citizens which were betrayal citizens who betrayed these leaders. So you know the how things is panning out. We used to have great leaders, but we used to have non-loyal citizens. So the citizens betrayed the leaders. I'm talking of the generation of Kwame Nkrumah, the generation of Thomas Sankara, the generation of Patrice Lumumba. We used to have great leaders in Africa, but they were betrayed by their own kind. At the moment, we have great citizens who are more enlightened and are ready for change. But the problem is, we have leaders who are not loyal, leaders who has been planted by their colonial masters. So it has switched. Yes, years ago we used to have loyal leaders who were yearning for change. But today we have puppet leaders who are working for their puppet masters. So which generation are we going to be? I know a lot of people wished for change, but the sad truth is, majority of our leaders who holds power are working for the puppet master, which is the Western countries. So that has made things difficult. So any movement you try to make, any change you try to bring is kind of hard to implement. So how are we going to go about these difficult times? How are we going to go about it? Because those holding power, those who have the power, are working for their puppet masters, and those who want change don't have the power. That is a very difficult situation to solve. So how are we going to go about this scenario? Please, we are still discussing these topics on my platform, my Telegram platform, which is being yielding results. A lot of people are sharing their ideas. So I wish you can also join us on Telegram, on Cat Africa Live group, which you can find the link in the description box. Just click on it and join us on Telegram for us to have a very fruitful and great discussion about how we can do things for the betterment of Africa. Please, you can also subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. Thanks for watching.